Yeah, overheads. So exactly the same as what I was just saying, how we price delivery. We do exactly the same thing with the overheads. So people find overheads quite difficult to judge. Now, what I personally do, which is for me, it's not how other companies do it. I know that for a fact. Is I'll add up everything that we get from the year. So I'll know our electricity costs X amount of money, gas X amount, council tax, insurance, everything, and I'll add it up and it'll come to a figure. And then I'll kind of work out how many functions we do per year, and then I'll just divide it, and then each function costs X amount of overheads. Do you understand what I mean? So based on what I did last year, I work out that this year we'll be doing something like 90 functions. So each function, X amount of money from our overheads has to be factored into that. That's to give you just as accurate a reflection of profit as possible. So basically what you can see is anything that's any way using time in the company or an expense to the company has to be factored in.
How do you get to working from home?
Well, that's a tricky one, because then you're into the whole kind of tax side of it as well, because you can claim X amount back depending on your home if you're working from home from the government. So I found out that figure, basically how much my rent is minus the office. So it's tricky.
Oh, so the office, because I haven't been going the whole year, so I haven't worked it out yet.
Yeah.
So there's an amount, a bit like wear and tear on a flat.
Exactly, yeah. And one of the biggest pieces of advice is, because it took me about 2 months to clean it up, is keep it as separate as possible. Obviously, a house is difficult. If you're working from home, you're working from home. But like any good accountant will advise you on how much you can claim back and how it works. Yeah, I think I'm not 100% sure. No, I could. There is, yeah, definitely, and the same applies to your electricity, your council tax, and your rent, or mortgage payments, and things like that. Yeah, so you just try to get as accurate a picture, and that's the thing, is people are generally, and I was one of them, won't be 100% honest with themselves, because they'll want to think they're running their business really correctly and they're making X amount of money. You have to be honest. You have to be very, very. What's the word? Yeah, just kind of brutal, yeah. And that's when you might realize, and it's a horrible feeling, that you're not as profitable or your company's not as strong as you thought it was. Your idea isn't as strong, and then you have to look back at your pricing, which is the exercise we'll be working on. We'll give you an example of it. Like, I've put as much information there to make it as honest a reflection as it can, but that's still a guess in terms of when you're costing a menu. There's still things that are going to come into that, like the salt on the tables and stuff, which you still have to buy. And like, it's just getting it as kind of close as possible. So like, when you're looking at what you're doing, obviously it's a lot more intricate than a different food enterprise, because you have to look at, the licensing costs, the pitch rental, getting.
If it's in brick and mortar, I mean, I don't know, do you find, I'm kind of trying to find someone that I could talk to that's got premises, that I'm not saying would be kind of competition, but just to try and ask them what they're.
Who specifically are you trying to talk to?
I'm just kind of eyes open, seeing what I think might be a nice small business that would kind of divulge all that information, because otherwise it's just saying, what would gas be, and it's just really hard to, say, okay, I'm heating up or something for 3 hours a day.
Yeah, definitely. I probably have 1 or 2 people you could talk to that I know that run street food, but they'd be running out of vans. They're not actually running out of a kind of a bricks and mortar. And like, when we've done some functions that have been pop-up, we bring everything from the tables to the plates.
Pay for the space, and that's all included?
No, it's not. None of that's all ours. That's all Cuisance, so we bring.
The kind of gas and the electricity and everything.
Yeah, the electricity's included, and we just use induction hobs and stuff like that. But it's certainly something that, I think I know 1 or 2 people that would be willing to.
Share some.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Have to give them a nudge and just kind of go on, yeah, help us out. But yeah, definitely, like, what I'd suggest is just find a company that you're not in conflict with, like that, and that's how I would approach what you're doing. is I'd have a look around and see, well, there's a lot of kind of pop-ups, like there's pop-up coffee shops now. So obviously there's the link to Italy there. So you could, work in conjunction with them. And that's what we do with quite a lot of people, is we'll work in conjunction with them and kind of try to set something up. 2 minds are always better than one. And 2 paychecks are always better than one as well when you're paying for a place.